Hey everyone, this is the V-Man, and I am going to show you a very quick guide on how to cut out or so this is to show you how to cut the person out of a picture and then put him in something like this. Okay? Có sẽ sai nó bỏ tiền của đi trả xin là cho tiền họ làm chỉ muốn sử dụng đấy thì đào tiền của yếu và mình made được cái bỏ xin là okay. So the first thing that you probably should have and buy is something like this. It's called a tablet. This one is one Wacom Intuos medium Bluetooth, and that's the one that I use. There's a pen, and you attach it to your computer, and then you can use this to draw or to work on your picture. And this is going to be much easier. If you use the mouse or to mouse so mouse is not going to be as efficient as this pen where you can just draw and move things around with your mouse, and with your pen it's going to be much better. So this is the one that I have. It's only $119 right now, and that's all you need. For this price it'll meet you all of you need, and that's going to be much easier. Okay, so you probably should get something like this. So first thing is, before you learn into photo compositing or Kho Duab, make sure that you get one of these. Okay, so here's a picture, the original picture. Okay, so type now when you have the model like this, and then you have, I'm using Photoshop Creative Cloud version, so you should have Photoshop or something similar that allows you to make these types of selection in Kho Duab. Okay, so what I do is I go to the selective tool right here, and then I click up here to select subject, and I'm going to choose cloud because it's more detailed results, right? So when I do that, I click on select, and it'll take a while, and then so right here, so all these marching ants, okay? So I'm not worried about all the details here, as you can see a little bit. And then you click on select and mask, and then okay, so right, so it's not perfect. Now there are ways to play with these settings over here to do a better job, but for me, and I'll tell you why. Because right now when you do it with this, you see how it's missing this. I mean, you can always fix it, but for me, I'll show you how I manually do it. Okay, so when you have this, you click at the bottom over here, output to, you're going to say new layer with layer mask, and then you click OK. And he cuts this person, he puts this person on joy hot top layer on top. See, so here's the original, and then here's the one that's on top, right here. Okay, see that? So then what I do is, once I have this, then I add a new layer, and then I put a different color, right? So I'll use something that I can see. So right? So if I'll just choose this color, for example, right? So and then I go into fill, and then you see, so then I can see what I'm doing, right? Otherwise, it's kind of hard to see like this, right? So I just put a a new layer underneath here so I can see. So this is how I do it. Okay, so you see how these, the lines are not so good. I mean, there are ways to do it, but for now, I'll just show you how I manually do it, and I prefer to do it manually. So you have to understand masking, okay? Masking is when you mask or you block certain parts of a picture, right? Masking, okay? So the color black will hide and white will reveal, okay? So that's something very important that you need to understand, okay? Okay? So I have this picture here, so if you can see, there's the model lady, which is a wonderful model, and then I use the brush, okay, the brush, and I choose a, it's a hard brush. Hardness is 100%, but I usually set mine to 60%, and then, so with the white is going to reveal, right? White, right? So if I click here, so if I draw on the hand, you can see that's the original right here. This is the original background, right? So then, so what I do is, so if I want to make sure I get the perfect, then you have to manually draw it in. So that's what I do. Okay. So when you do that, then you increase you focus in, you zoom in. You see that? Okay. See the percent over here, it changes. So it goes up to, see that? So it goes up. And then I switch to black. Do to hide. We're going to blur. Then you make sure that my 60% and harness, and then you see that, and then we're using on the shortcut on your keyboard is to left bracket to make it smaller. See, so now see the brush size is smaller. And if I switch to the right bracket, then it makes the brush bigger, right? So when I have something like this, then all I do is manually go and just kind of cut out the parts that I don't want, which is the background, right? You just want to keep the model, right? So if you want to, when you get closer, then you make the brush smaller. So like see, for example, here, when you go down there, right? So then I hit the left bracket and it makes my brush smaller so that I can get these small parts here so I know exactly what I'm doing, right? So when you do that, then you have complete control over what you want and what you don't want, because if you let the Photoshop do it, sometimes it will do a good job, but sometimes it will not do a good job. But if you do it yourself manually like this, then you get the perfect cut. So then you get a smooth, edge, and you know exactly what you're getting. So for example, I'll just do the fingers here, right? See, so that's why having a tablet is much easier, because then you can just do this. You paint and you draw on the tablet. That's going to be much easier. You don't. So when you do this, so then I just go way around, and then obviously this is more time consuming, but for me, I enjoy doing this. So I just put on some nice music and I just kind of do this. Then after a while, right? So there it is, right? So any part that needs fixing, like for example, like over here, then I just zoom back in, and then I make my brush smaller, and I just do this again, right? Like this. And then I just fix it until I have a nice edge, right? So if I here, same thing, I can just do this, see the difference? So see how the difference, it looks like this. And now it's much smoother. So that's how you get really nice smooth edges, because you use the brush and you go back in. So now, if you want to see, so for example, if you got like your Kano now, right? All you have to do is hit your X key, and then it'll switch back to the white color, see down, and then you can make the, and you can see what you missed out on, right? Like this. So then, so go corner, right? So you see you're on white now. So if you hit the X key on black, and then make this brush smaller, then you can go back and recorrect this. So there you go, like this, So then oops, I missed this. So we'll corner like this, and like this, right? So there it is. Then eventually you'll get a nice cut. So then like this. There you go. So you see how this nice, see the nice edges over here compared to over here, for example. See, you can see like over here, the edge, right? But if you use again the black color, then you can hide it like this, All right. So that's how you get really nice edges on your model. So let's talk about hair, right? So for example, hair now. Sometimes it does a great job, sometimes it does not. So I just draw my hair. So look like this, right? So right, like this. So what I do is then I use a brush, hair brush. So there are different hair brush, but you can use one that's default. So I make a layer underneath the picture, right? You can put on top, but for me, I put them underneath. And then you choose the brush, the normal brush. So for example, this is the one that I use, okay? So then I select the color that I like. So I use the eyedropper tool. So this will allow you to choose the color that you want. So I'll choose this color, right? So then now the color changes to this. So then now you can just do this, see like that, right? So then I could just kind of draw this. You can change the opacity, the flow. I'll just do maybe like 40%. And then like this, like this. There you go. And then I can just do this. So then now, and then I'll just blend in the colors a little bit so it looks more legit. Like that. Like this. Right? See, like this. so that nobody's gonna know, you know. And then you can do different things with the hair, but that's gonna be a different tutorial. But that's how you can redo the hair. Like for example, over here, see at the bottom here, so if I just go back to the brush that I need to erase, then I just do over here, like this. See. So this is the hair from above, right? So I'm just going to do it quickly here, but you get the idea, right? So if I do this, and then, so this was from the top, the hair, right? So if I can do, I'll just do a new one here, I'll show you. So then underneath the hair, I'm going to switch back to the brush, the hair brush, which is right here. And then I'll just do this. Sample the color, and then go on like this. You can just kind of paint and draw the hair, so it will so you blend it in, and then it'll all show like this, and like this. So and then you can just draw the hair however you want. So this is just very quick, you know, but eventually it will look something like this. Let me show you. See that, the hair, right? So once you're done, then you erase all of the parts that you don't want, and you just have, you know, the model. And then once you have the model, then you can place her anywhere. You can put anything underneath there. Okay. So hopefully this gives you an idea of how I do it. There are many ways to cut out a person, but for me, the most effective way is I manually do it. I just get the general, you know, cut out. Then after that, then I just manually go and paint it, you know, I mask it. Okay, so la lu mask it, mo hai lu mi ka de mo lu mo ye ka tai ne ka mo nu wo ka cha po na. So black is to mo nu to ta, okay? Dao na ti ko da po na, mo nu black na mo nu tai na. Okay, so that's how I explain it in Hmong. But so that's basically how I cut out a person in Photoshop so that I can, you know, put them in a place like this. And then you have to fix the color and all that good stuff. But that's going to be for a different tutorial. Okay, so hopefully this will explain to you how I cut out the person and fix the hair in Photoshop. Just a quick tutorial. Thank you. Bye.